Yo, what is good, guys? So look, we're gonna go ahead and watch one of the GOATs, Lord Knight. He talked about Ky, and I just want to hear what another player who don't play Ky have to say about my character, all right? So now people can't say, oh, you're just downplaying, you're just biased. But look, you know what you can do? You can hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how you guys feel about what LK has to say. And do you guys agree with me now? I'm just trying to sell you guys to the light so you guys can understand where I'm coming from, okay? Let's jump into the video right now.
So once again, let's start positive for Kyle. So
All right, let's go.
his first major pro is that he's really good at neutral. So speed-wise, he's pretty fast. There's a reason why so many Kyle players think they can run at you from full speed and throw you. It's because he can get over there, you know. He's really good at controlling ranges around him as well. So he has far slash, 2S. 2S being a low is quite notable in this game. Having a far-reaching low is usually a good thing. You can look at Nagoryuki, for example, or Happy Chaos. They both have really good far-reaching lows. In the case that people are waiting at full screen, he has projectiles, and also projectile that kind of forces you to act if you're playing too defensively against him, as well as air projectiles too, to protect himself and cover space, just depending on where you are. For close range battles, he has 6P, a very strong 6P, and relatively large kick buttons like 2K, 5K. He's also pretty good at converting neutral situations into good damage, so his standard hits don't really lead to that much in a meaningful way, so
Yep.
you can get something like this, for example, or this. Then we should talk about defense too. So he has meterless reversal options, so he has this, Vapor Thrust, and the Heavy Vapor Thrust.
Thank God
so
about that.
specifically his S Vapor Thrust is slower than your typical fast reversal. Most of these are 9 frames, his are 11. But despite him having a slower reversal option, I feel like this mattered more when the game came out, where characters like Soul and Leo, they all had their 7-frame reversals, and they were really hard to safe jump, while this was relatively easy to. Now that the fastest reversals are 9 frames, I feel like they line up a little bit with Vapor Thrust. And
Yeah, I'm glad that happened to be a change because that was crazy, bro. Everybody was mashing Dragon Punch every single second. That was so bad.
Then he has pretty easy access to his power-up state, right? So he has Shock State. So anytime they block this move, or the Fireball, or this Fireball, he will put on Shock State on the opponent, and it powers up his special moves. Specifically, they add frame advantage to his moves, the main one of note being this move. Because normally, this is like -2, but with this on, it becomes heavily advantageous and very easy for him to continue his offense. And then last, he has some unique comeback potential because of Dragon Storm. So they keep buffing this move, and it's actually pretty easy to access now. Right now, the CPU is still set to backdash.
Pretty easy to access now. Oh, you mean getting my ass whooped?
After blocking something, so if there's a gap, they'll try to backdash it.
Yeah, why don't you mash? Why don't you mash there? What happens when you mash? Why you choose backdash? Choose a barre.
Airtight string into Dragon Stall that leaves him advantageous, which is pretty strong. Dragon Stall also changes frame data on special moves, but the main ones of note are, again, Food Rock, but then also Charge Stunnage as well. So he's a strike throw character. There are many characters who win with strike throw in this game, but out of the majority of them, he is not only the most committal to strike throw, but he gets the least from it, and he takes the most risks while he's doing it. So for this, it's like you have to look at the rest of the cast and what they have to help them with this, right? So he neither has a +3 normal, so Soul has +3 normals, and then Insanity return when he's correct, right? Ky's return is also very, very good, but he does not have as much frame advantage to work with, both from close range and from far range, where...
What what's so funny about this is like every other game, Ky always had good frame advantage to like set up throw. And I think it's funny now it's the complete opposite. So basically, most characters that does what Ky does basically have insurance, right? And Ky has to high commit with little to no frame advantage to like set up. So that naturally makes his like pressure so much risky, right? in a game where you're already exploding.
He also doesn't have a command grab, so he can't use the threat of command grab to stop people from throw teching in some situations. He has to just overextend a ton on his offense, and almost everything that he does is negative or has like a gap in it or something like that. In addition, he's a character that people use as an introduction to some of the passive defensive options in the game, like instant block. He is quite weak to instant block, especially this move. So this move, if you instant block it, he is going to be punished for sure. Where the pushback is normally something like this, where he's able to be safe, no problem. So how does he fit into the game then? So he is in a very interesting spot where he has this big flaw. Basically his offense. It's hard for him to enforce offense. He has to take a lot of risks on his own offense compared to other characters who are strike throw.
It's really good.
But because of his neutral, he endures in the game and is basically always relevant. He was one of the...
That is true. I do agree that, like, his mid-range is actually not bad. It's actually one of the, overall nice neutral to have, right? The problem is everybody else neutral is just as good as Kai's, but the reward is better than Kai's.
The early characters we saw people select against Nagoriyuki, for example. Two-step characters aren't that big of a fan of fighting him. And he's able to enforce his defense pretty well on characters like Baiken, who have problems dealing with Stun Dipper as a reversal. When the game came out, one of the characters he struggled against the most was Ramlethal, because Ramlethal did not need to use passive defensive options to punish him just attacking. Right? But outside of her, there's not really a character that like beats him down terribly. It's one of those things where like his neutral tools are fine, but you don't feel good on offense because everything you're doing is disadvantaged and you feel like you have to take big risks all the time. His speed keeps him in play against characters like Zato or Happy Chaos, but then his neutral control keeps him in play against slower characters or characters that have more linear mobility like Ino. So despite everything, I think he is like a definition of a mid.
Whoa, he said the M word?
He is like a definition of a mid-tier character. Because of the way he is, they gave him like a ton of buffs in Season 2 that a bunch of other characters got. So many characters got things like far slash buffs, 2S buffs, 2K less pushback, frame advantage added to close slash, buttons launching higher, like jump P and jump K. Many characters all got these things. But then they also got other stuff. So Baiken also got this being plus, this better hitbox, this pop up more, this pop up more. All around, good character, definitely not top tier, will always exist in the game. But as long as he has this problem with offense, I don't think he'll ever be like a straight up top tier, runs the game type of character. He's always going to slide in as like relevant character, does well against some important characters, especially characters that they keep buffing, like Faust, for example. But probably the definitive mid-tier character.
Thank you for sharing the light of our struggles. Overall, this is a really good video, man. You know, if you're attacking somebody, you should feel like you're winning, right? But the thing is about it, like, I feel like I'm like concerned. I'm like, okay, like I'm +1 here, I can only do this, but then after I do this, I'm minus. So I have to use my minus frames to like scare you. In a game like this, like not a lot of characters are afraid to swing because if they swing, they might win.